Hello, and welcome to the Rag Company Podcast. I have a frog in my throat. I'm also Dane Hennen. To my right, Levi Gates.
It sounds like you need a fisherman's friend.
To my left, Anthony Fisher.
It sounds like you need something.
Oh, okay, God. There we go.
He coughed inside this room.
Boom.
Sick.
Stuck with it. Nice. Okay.
I think I'm going to start this off. Just so those of you wondering, Dane, what did you take this morning?
I took a diet pill, and it has jacked me up.
Has it? What diet pill did you take, Dane?
Honestly, I don't even remember
That's
the
not
name.
good.
It's a black bottle with red text all over it, and it says it's the most hardcore of its kind. So I'm a little nervous.
They all say that. So
also, it's about a year and a half, 2 years old.
Oh, so it's
fermented.
It's
an old bottle.
It's fermented.
Well,
yeah, and the pills are black. So
you
it's
guys have
really
any questions on supplements? I know
yeah.
a guy that knows a guy that knows a little bit about them.
So he's taking black pills. Dane, you really want to win this thing, don't you?
Yes.
Well, you can
which I will note. Okay, guys. So for those who aren't, aware of what's going on,
you missed last week.
We're having a weight loss challenge, which is what we do before we go on a big trip. Sometimes. Last year
this
we
one's
had
called the UK Cut.
Yeah. So this is a UK cut, and basically, we're all kind of in this together. This is a group effort, but we're all trying to kick each other's butts too.
That's
So,
true. Yeah.
Yeah,
There's some fun competition.
We all
going
have
on.
different methods of attacking this. Some of us are taking black pills. Some of us are taking blue pills
Well,
for
let's reiterate.
extracurricular activities.
What is each of our strategies?
Okay.
Well, I'm taking blue pills for extracurricular activities. And
I don't think that's part of it. Although that is exercise.
Okay.
So yeah.
And
Did you say that?
Too late. He did.
he said it first.
No.
So
all right.
no, so I'm taking a thermogenic.
Okay.
I have an increase in thyroid this year that is
Okay.
actually from the doctor.
All right.
So
Ramping things up.
have that, as well as physical fitness and more water.
Okay.
And just
More water
just,
is not a bad
just
thing.
being low carb and adding more water. Now, yes, I will say to the folks that commented last week,
Oh God, they
that,
hate your soda.
drinking diet soda is not the way, and if I just add more water, isn't going to do anything.
Well, it's not going to hurt either.
To those I say it's not going to hurt to drink more water.
Yeah.
I'm still going to drink my soda.
That's
so
true.
It's either
In diet form, in like zero form, whatever type of
it's zero calorie.
Yeah,
Like I
it's
understand
basically-
there's other stuff in it that is probably not good, but it's not wasted calories.
Yeah, it's your choice. Do you like stevia,
And
aspartame, any
And
of
this
that
is
stuff?
my thing, guys. Like it's not a like
It's a lifestyle.
I could be drinking coffee
Yeah.
with a whole bunch of creamer in it,
I mean,
flavored creamer
you're
that's
probably-
pure sugar.
You're
Yeah.
probably just getting some sodium out of it or something.
Mostly, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
that's usually what happens in the
And I drink some
low-cal
water and I'm okay.
drinks.
So
Okay.
Just
all right.
make sure
All
you're
right.
drinking
Dane,
water,
what
too.
is your plan of attack?
I'm going in my own sort of way. People are militant about it usually, but I'm doing my loosey-goosey version of keto.
all right.
So
I like it.
basically, I'm just kind of winging it because I know the basics of how keto functions, and I remember how it worked for me last time. And
Yeah.
I didn't follow the rules as closely as I probably should have last time, and it worked out okay. So
Yeah.
Okay.
in this case, I didn't get that keto flu or any of that sickness or stuff like people talk about.
His body already welcomes the fat. It says, we love it. We need it.
There's plenty to go
We
around,
want
guys.
some more of it.
Yeah.
We want some more
so,
of it. Yeah.
So I will note, last week we started our challenge on Monday. But I did not begin
Fully.
my weight loss routine, diet,
Yeah.
until Friday evening because
Yeah.
that's when I was able to go shopping and actually get
Realistically,
keto-friendly
he could have
things.
gone shopping Monday night. He just
Yeah.
chose to wait till
I
Friday.
could have, except I was here till 10 p.m.
But
3 nights following,
Yeah, but you could have gone on your
working
lunch
on
break.
that
You have a fridge in your office.
Charlie Hutton video where I had to gray out that car in the background because nobody was allowed to see what color it was. And that takes forever. I will have you know.
You did take forever.
Frame
I'm
by
very
frame,
proud of you.
60
That
frames
was
per
a lot
second
of coloring.
in a 17-minute
Yeah.
video. Just
Yeah.
think of how many frames that is.
Yeah.
And I had to go through each one of them.
I want to give a shout out and say that
Shout out to
Dane,
Dane
puts
for-
putting work first.
Yeah, putting work first, folks,
Health second.
before his health.
I'm the prince. I kind of got to show that I work
couldn't
as
go
hard
get
as
that.
anyone here. Maybe I'm not the best example of work smarter, not harder, but sometimes you just get
you
in
did
the
it,
flow.
and you did a great job
So, thank you.
on that blurring.
What we need to do, right? How about this, Dane? What if we got you a standing desk and put like a treadmill underneath it, so
Ooh,
while you
I
edit,
like
you
it.
could walk?
He could take a walk.
Yeah. Maybe a little
don't-
treadmill. Like, okay, what
Ooh,
are what
I
are
know.
those
What if we
VR...
get him like the little bicycle thing he put under his desk, and he can just pretend to ride a bike like this, and he can just pedal.
I don't think he would
Old
do that.
ladies,
I
he
think
says.
we have to force him to walk on a treadmill because, like, to where the only way he could work is by walking.
The only way he could power his computer.
Yes,
Is by
Yeah,
I love that.
generate a current by doing that, and if you
It's like
slow
1 week
down,
later and
your
Dane's, like,
project
half of the
crashes and
size.
you lose your whole project. Oh God, that would be an incentive.
He's like,
wow.
I'm 150 pounds. Guys.
We come
I'm
back in
rag
over
and
the
bone.
week. Dane's
Dang.
like, I didn't go home this weekend.
Dane, you've lost an exponential amount of weight.
Give me one of those
My body turned into a new form of editing mode.
omnidirectional treadmill. It's what they use for those really
Oh,
high-end
yeah.
VR programs and
Yeah.
stuff, where the person's sitting there, but it feels like
You're
they can walk
harnessed
in a
in,
direction.
too.
Yeah,
So you can't fall over.
and literally, I'm just there, like trying to edit, and like, okay, got to keep moving. I can't stop. I can't stop.
You're like, I got to walk to the left so I can move the mouse.
Yeah, no,
You
that
become the mouse.
would be terrifying. Any rate, that's enough about me.
I don't know if
Anthony,
you could get anything done.
Yeah.
Probably not. I'd be too freaked out about what would happen if I stopped.
Yeah. So how I'm tackling this is I am doing a carb cycle. So I have I calculated all of my calories.
like a motorcycle that you built.
Yeah, kind of.
Out of carbohydrates, breads, and
Out of a carburetor.
oh, okay.
I'm eating carton. No, just kidding. No, basically
We're
this
conflating
is,
things that don't.
This is how I'm tackling this is pretty healthy, but also it's enjoyable, and I'm still getting a lot of food in. So basically, I'm basing this around like a 2,000 calorie diet, which is pretty low. For me.
you, it's very
Yeah.
low.
For me, and so I
Anthony's like a 4,000 or 5,000 calorie a day guy.
yeah.
Well, he regularly works out too, so.
So I built this. Well, not lately. I
Not
need to
not
actually,
regularly.
I need to really get
Compared
back
to the
into it.
rest of us, I think he does.
So what I have to
Not
do
to me.
is
Oh.
I need to. So I built a whole diet plan for myself, and basically how it is it's 3 days I'm doing lower carb, where 30% of my calories come from carbohydrates, and then the next 2 days are 50% of my calories come from carbohydrates, and then the other ones just kind of mix and match from proteins and fats. And so how that
So
works
that's like
is
a Monday, Wednesday, Friday, you're going to the Euro Shack for lunch.
yeah.
And then on like Tuesdays and Thursdays, you're going to the Blue Sky
Bagels.
Okay.
Something like that.
Just trying to figure it out for the layman here that are
So
wondering how
what I'm
Anthony's
hearing is the
carb cycling
complete
works.
opposite of what I'm doing.
Yeah. So
He's
but
cycling his carbs. So I'm just doing like low carb and just watching how many carbs.
And
You're
I'm all
trying to
but
cut.
eliminating carbs.
You're all but eliminating, and then
Carbs
he's
and
actually,
sugar,
yeah,
specifically.
and then he's cycling them. So he's doing a low
Yeah.
carb, then a high carb, then a low carb.
and what that does is it tricks your body. It basically thinks it needs to burn at a faster rate than what it's burning, and it doesn't know how what you're throwing at it. So it keeps your body guessing. But
Sounds like the
it's,
P90X of diets.
well,
Confused.
If
the
he
puns.
added P90X to it,
Oh,
I would
God.
never do that. And
You would come to
um,
work just.
Yeah, no, I hate P90X. Their
should
ab,
put Dane
their ab
on
workout's good,
P90X.
but
No, my girlfriend did it, and she was miserable.
yeah. Well,
Well.
anyway,
That's all I needed
so
to say.
I'm eating the same food pretty much every day. That's the thing. So I'm actually making this diet so strict where I am going to be eating pretty much the same meal. I made it to where it's not so bad though. In the morning, I'm having like a protein shake and a Nutri-Grain Eggo waffle. A couple hours later, I'm having a Quest bar. A couple hours later, I'm having 2 cups of rice, 8 ounces of chicken, broccoli. 2 hours later after that, I'm having a Fiber One bar, and then at night, which is my favorite meal, I'm having like a 1/3 pound 80/20 ground beef patty that I cut up, but then I put some eggs in there, some like egg whites, and then I
Nice.
melt some cheese over it, and it's delicious.
I
And-
actually do that. That's awesome. That's
And
exactly
so-
how we do our dinners.
and that way I'm cutting out all my carbs by lunchtime, and I'm actually just on by second lunch, which is the Fiber One bar, and then I go
Fourth
without
meal.
carbs for a period of time, and in that time I just drink a ton of water, and then that fat kind of drives me through my workout later in the night, and then I just add a few more carbs to on my higher carb days, but so far I really like it. I think it's like what I'm eating, the foods I really like, and I can feel like because how it works for me. I'm one of those guys where I have to be all in or just not at all. I can't like kind of try. I have to either really try or not at all. And so that's why I think for like the next 9 weeks now, I have to really try to avoid putting myself in those situations where, hey, let's go grab dinner.
Let's go
and
have a
then
beer.
Let's have dessert and
Yeah.
let's do this. Because if I do that, that's gonna throw me off. I'm gonna just
Right,
say
yeah.
F it and
so going with 9 weeks left,
yeah.
you've confirmed your passport.
Yeah. Well, I got my
Sure.
I got my passport when I was 20, and it's 10 years, right? I'm 29.
Yeah, but I'm just making sure that it is correct, and you
I'll
have it.
I'll
You have to make sure
I'll have
that
to
you're
double
ready.
check that when I
It's
get
a lot
home.
more
'Cause you only
expensive
have
when you have to
about 8
expedite.
weeks
Yeah.
to get it.
Oh,
I'll put it this
redone.
way: it
You
took
got
me,
yours.
It took about 6-7 weeks for me to get mine back.
cool.
Yeah,
All right.
I've got mine. You've
Not to
got
freak you
but
out, but you
Anthony,
should
but
check
Dane
it.
got his. So I'm just
No
making
stress.
sure.
No stress.
Let's
It's all
get
good.
yours confirmed so that
Yeah.
we know. Otherwise, Anthony's not making it to the UK.
I will bring
Yeah.
mine to
He will be
work.
the UK cut.
So
You
just a little info.
Nate will replace
We'll be
me.
taking Nate
There
with
you
us.
go.
Yeah.
Somebody with an active passport, please join. For those who don't know, specifically Anthony here, so what I did to kind of make it go a little bit faster without doing the full expedited thing, which is like $150,
Yeah.
I went the route where I did the regular pace, but then I did sped up mail service
Yeah.
to get it there faster.
And that's what
then
I did too.
Get it back, and it was like an in between, so it only cost me about 126.
Yep. Yeah, and I did mine. Same thing, but I went to the Boise State office and
Yeah.
filled all mine out. I had mine literally back in less than 2 weeks.
Nice.
That's
Very
crazy.
nice.
So, which was
Um,
odd because I didn't pay for expedited or anything like
Yeah.
that.
All right.
No,
so
that's
before
just
we
so anyway.
before we
lucky
change
break.
the topic, let's just do our weigh-ins really quick. Let's
Yeah.
see what we're
Get
sitting
it-
at.
So,
And
so,
then-
Let's preface this by saying this is a terrible scale.
so we're gonna get a new scale
Yeah.
because this scale gives us random numbers. It's
We
almost like a random number generator.
Stood it on
More
it
than anything
3
else.
times, and each number was about 3 pounds off of the last time you measured yourself.
So we're
you're
kind of just taking like
and
the
then,
best
and then
of.
Tim got on it and lost over 50 pounds,
that makes no sense.
which didn't make any sense at all. So,
Should we just do the
If
best
he lost
of 3?
50 pounds,
Yeah.
he would disappear.
Let's do the best of
I think
3.
we do the best number out of 3 standings.
Yeah.
And
All right. So
'cause
Levi's
that's what we
going
noticed.
first.
And yes, before any of you answer, like we are on carpet and we know that, and
Yeah.
that's why we're doing this.
It's low. It's high traffic, low pile carpet.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
So, and we did do between the wood floor and this, and it's not much of a difference.
Well, and I don't know about you, but I weighed at home too, just
Yeah.
to get a baseline as well.
We're gonna have a nicer
And
scale
I weighed
next
at
week.
home naked and did really good.
Okay.
So.
We know
Noted.
they didn't need to know.
You know
that.
what? You don't need to buy a scale. I'll bring in mine. Mine's really good.
Is it really good?
Yes.
No, we're gonna buy a scale because yours is you baby biasing, changing the weight on yours.
That's true.
What?
We're buying a new scale. We're buying a new scale at lunch today.
I have a very nice glass bathroom scale with
We'll
a
go
very
live.
accurate
We'll go
digital
live
readout.
on Instagram.
and we're gonna buy our scale. We'll go to what's a high-end store that they sell scales? Walmart. I was thinking Bed Bath and Beyond.
Number 192.
192. Okay.
Okay.
And you were how much last week?
194.
Last week, right?
192.
192.
192. Okay. And
194.
third number.
So-
Okay. So 193.
So we're gonna say 192 because I had 2 weigh-ins. At that.
Well, okay.
Well, I think that averages out to 193 though.
it does. So we'll
Okay.
say 193.
Okay, and how many pounds is that from last
so
week?
I think it was 194 and a half total.
well, this is
so
a case of deciding
we'll
medium
just say a
or
pound.
mean.
We'll say a pound. Go ahead,
Oh,
Dane.
okay.
Your turn.
Okay.
So we'll say 1 pound.
1
If
pound.
we're doing 193.
Yeah, it's not bad. So Dane, you were how much last week? 140.
245.
245. Sorry. Sorry.
You're very
Yeah.
flattering.
Sorry.
All right.
245. All right, let's hear it, guys. So in the meantime, here, Dane will be looking at his numbers. I know
240. First number.
240.
239.
Okay, get back on.
All right, Dane.
It said 240.
I'm throwing it out there.
So this is fun. Hopefully, some of you guys are joining us in our weight loss challenge. Our
240.5.
240.5. Okay. Because this
All
is fun. I think
Third
we're having
one.
a good
This is
time.
like a random
And we
number
want to know
generator.
people's weights and their weigh-ins. If you guys want to leave a comment.
Our
let
homie
us know.
Luke Berge has joined in on
Did
this. He? Yep.
Nice.
243.
So
There we go.
This is such
So
a-
so what are we at? So what's the?
So 240. So 240, a 240 and a half, and a 2. What was the last one?
43.
243.
So you want to say 241, 242?
Say 241. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, so that was down 4 pounds, is what that was?
yeah.
Is it 4? You were
245.
245.
So basically,
Oh, we're gonna do. I'm gonna do it in the same area we did.
Yeah,
last
you got to
time.
do it in the
yeah.
same area. Great. Now we moved it.
Ta-da.
All right, Anthony. Here we go.
Here we go. I'm already feeling skinnier. I don't know. So
I feel my pants don't
I
fit.
was 226.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh shit. Oh me no crap. Okay.
Tim will fix that. 220.5.
Okay. See again.
Okay, here comes number 2.
Do I just jump on it now?
Oh, just click at it. Good. There you go. Now you go. 222. $222.
Wow, you're the most accurate.
Okay. So what is that? So I had a 220, then two 222s. So say 221. Okay, so that is
So you're like me, a pound.
five
Yeah.
pounds.
Yep, pretty impressive
5 pounds.
for you, and 1 pound for me apparently.
Yeah. So I'm
for-
I'm not trying to like.
For those that are wondering, when I weighed myself this morning in my bathroom, naked,
Yeah.
I had almost 10 pounds.
Rather than
Okay.
like lingering on that
I was
sentence,
also
maybe
at the
continue.
doctor's this week and weighed myself, and I was far lower.
So one
So,
thing I want to point
this
out,
scale
and
is
this
off.
is something that's always scared me. So when you losing weight
Yeah.
fast, right? Some
You
people
can.
get really excited and really happy about that. One
But you
scary
stall out.
part though
Yeah.
is if your skin has stretched out to a certain amount, right, and you lose that weight,
Yeah.
right, you could have some stretched out skin. Now,
Yeah.
us being younger, we have some more elasticity, and
Well,
we
I'm
should be
I'm
able
not,
to.
I
worried
remember
about
a certain
stretchy skin.
Austin Powers
back.
character who lost a lot of weight very quickly, and you showed the horrible, horrible results of that.
Well, I'm not saying this is gonna, it happens to everybody. It's, like I said, your skin's pretty elastic, so you should be able to bounce back. But if if you get to a certain size, it's actually really hard to,
Oh yeah,
to bounce back.
my brother-in-law did that.
Yeah.
He was
Yeah.
quite large, and then had the stomach surgery.
well, and
Oh,
if you do
really?
it that way, that's
And-
real
and,
fast. So
Lost quite a bit of weight,
yeah.
but he is much happier and healthier.
Well, good
That's
for
the
him.
point.
So
All right. Basically, we're gonna go live. We'll go get a new scale. This scale, we appreciate you guys hanging out with us because it's just something fun to do, and we want to see where we go.
enough.
And in 10 weeks, we're all going to be a lot thinner, so we'll be able to fit in those airline seats for the long journey
Yeah.
Yeah.
over to the UK.
Be a
we were-
little more comfortable.
what we were talking about, we're hoping that we'll be able to have some shedded weight by the time we get to New Jersey.
That'll be nice.
Because on our last
I'm sorry,
flight,
did you say shedded? Okay.
Shedded weight.
shedded weight, shredded and shedded. So what I want to do, cool, because remember last
So we got
time,
Detailer's Domain. We're going to be at the Detailer's Domain open house
Yeah.
in June in New Jersey with Larry Casilla,
Yep.
Rupez, KXK,
KXK.
and us. The gang from Swag Rides will be out there for the open house, so please come out and see us on the
I
East
want to
Coast.
go check out their place.
We are
I
going
think
to go
that'd
check out
be cool.
their place. It's going to be
Yeah.
cool. So,
Well-
and Morgan is coming with us.
Yes.
She is.
So
The
for
three of
those
us,
of you who are excited,
plus
yes,
Morgan.
she will be joining
So
us.
Yeah. So last time when we were on the flight, though, it was
Yeah.
pretty tight.
It was tight.
It was 3 big dudes in
Yeah.
one skinny row.
yeah,
It could have been a lot better.
we were flying business, so that was a little better. But Dane, you were uncomfortable.
I sat between you guys because both you guys insist on having the window or the aisle, so I'm naturally the one who's too nice to actually argue for
Well,
another position. I'm just
I
like,
would sit in the
okay.
middle seat, but I'd probably be throwing up the whole time.
And I need
I
to
don't think
sit.
you
I
want
need to
that.
sit in
No.
the aisle because I'm always on the verge of having a panic attack
Yeah.
on a flight.
I'm the only one who's cool with flying, but the problem was I was highly uncomfortable because it was really warm and I was kind of a chubby
It
dude.
was warm. We
and
were
I'm
warm.
sitting
It
between you
was
guys, and all I
cozy.
could do the entire it was a red eye. So we were you two
We had to
managed to
sleep
fall
through
asleep
it,
a little.
yeah.
I was just there, and I was like, before we went on the flight, I thought, oh, I'm gonna sleep. I'm gonna be all right. Nope. Instead, I just sat the entire time going, leaning forward, leaning back. Leaning forward. And
It was my
you'd wake
favorite
up
thing
in the,
ever.
in the
I was
middle
dying
of a nap,
laughing.
you'd kind of pop up and look over, and you'd just see how miserable I was, just like shifting my weight
I
every 5
loved
or
it.
10 minutes.
I loved it.
It was so uncomfortable. It was like the worst comedy routine.
It was.
It was bad.
Anyways, all right. So
Yeah.
weekends, and then let's talk about what our upcoming plans are for actual detailing stuff this week.
Yes.
So Levi, take it
stuff.
away. What'd you do?
I had a very busy, very long weekend. First off, Augie's birthday was on Sunday, so he turned 5. So
Happy
that was
birthday,
good.
Augie.
Yeah. So Friday, basically this week, I have spent the week working on house projects. So we got our Dothraki pleasure tent built out in our yard.
Looks
So
really awesome.
Came out really nice. Got a fire pit. Got some Adirondacks. Got a rocking bench.
Some
has a
mirrors.
has a has a chandelier. Has some tapestries hanging from the walls. Some plants. Some bearskin rugs on the floor next to the fire. No, but so that's our outdoor little patio tent that we built. I've been working on it for the last 2 weeks, and then we've been putting all the furniture and stuff in it, and actually it's been nice. So
That's cool.
got that done. Got our bathroom project done, where I added wainscoting to the lower half and painted our bathroom. So that's done. Then painted our room, as you guys all saw on the live that my wife started painting our bedroom and got herself stuck with the piano. Finished our room. So room got done Friday night. Picked up a couch and some other stuff to put in it. So room looks amazing. So that was a lot of fun. Kids spent the night with my mom this weekend on Friday night. So that was great. Saturday, Ragnarok got its new shoes. So
wow.
got its I got some 295 70 R18 Maxxis Razor MTs.
Wow.
That I put on it, courtesy of Les Schwab. They're the ones that did all the work.
What were those tires wrapped around?
Wrapped around the very amazing Mamba M19s.
Nice.
Those were courtesy of Mamba. Thank you, Mamba, for the help on those. I did have to pay for the Maxxis tires. Through Les Schwab.
Haven't worked out a tire sponsor yet.
Yeah, we haven't worked out a tire sponsor yet.
Those are hard to get.
Yeah.
They're also not cheap.
No.
So,
but Mamba has been a gracious sponsor for Ragnarok. So got those on there. We had to do a lot of trimming, a lot of cutting. Wayne and his guys there at Les Schwab on Broadway went to town on it. I still need to get some torsion keys because it does rub. So I'll get some aftermarket torsion keys so I can raise the front end up a little more just to make it not rub so much. And then I think I got some shock extensions for the rear as well.
But those wheels really transformed the
they
look
did.
of
that truck
of that
is
truck.
beefy now and mean.
The truck before, I know the wheels that were on it. I just didn't care for them because I don't like chrome.
Yeah, chrome won't get you home, Dane.
Yeah.
If you knew that, chrome won't get you home.
Chrome on a 50s car, chrome on a 60s car, all right. But chrome on like a modern car.
Well, your dad really loved the billet grill and the
when I was a teenager, I actually told him to get that.
The carbon fiber brush, bug guard and window visors.
Oh God,
the fake carbon fiber.
That are broken.
It's carbon fiber, but it's also opaque.
It's not
semi-opaque.
It's not carbon fiber.
Yeah, it's not.
It's printed.
That's
clear plastic.
That's the joke.
With gray and black
because you can see
print
through it
on it. But yeah, no. And so I've been doing a little bit of I got rid of the bug guard. I got rid of the billet grill. I put the Z71 lower Valance on it. And then I've still got to take all the trim and all that stuff and take all those bug guards off those window visors. But those are going to be a pain in the butt because it's a lot of glue I have to remove.
The one our old wolf dog cracked.
Yeah, but no, the wheels and tires totally transformed the vehicle. Like it is wide now.
It's looking mean.
Yeah, so for those of you wondering, the tires are a 34-inch tire by 11.5 inches wide.
Healthy.
Yeah, so big meats on it, and I didn't lift it. So all we did was raise the torsion bars up.
Which is weird because it looks lifted.
I was going to say, honestly, the truck doesn't need to be
lifted. The truck already had it's an auto ride setup, and so the GM auto ride is a self-leveling hydraulic system. Mm-hmm. And so it will raise it. With the auto ride, they're already raised, and being a 3/4 ton, they're already a lot taller than a standard Suburban.
The only thing that truck was missing was quadristeer, which didn't come into play until like a year or two later.
You're right. About a year later, but I'm glad it didn't have quadristeer because they broke a lot.
Yeah, all the fun stuff does.
But other than that, it has a lot of stuff. So anyway, that was great. I got my couch fixed this weekend. Nice. More furniture came out and fixed our couch because it broke again. I also had to buy a new barbecue grill.
Yeah, I was going to say, you told us something funny about the Moore guy.
Oh yeah, so the Moore guy's a fan of ours, fan of the YouTube channel.
Or was he just being coy? Was he like just confused? Or
no,
was
he was like, I feel like I've seen you somewhere, and I was like, well, this is the second time you've been in my home, and he's like, no, I mean like I feel like I've seen you on YouTube or something. I was like, oh, you probably have. So we talked about products and stuff. But the great thing was that I got a barbecue grill. Put it in the back of the Suburban and brought it home.
So you meant like it's like a mod. Yeah, it's like we can actually barbecue out of the back of the Suburban.
We could literally tailgating now.
Technically, they make those. I could get one. So those of you, the companies that make barbecue grills that mount on the back of a vehicle, please get in touch with me. We would love to install one in the back of
Hitch mount.
You know what's the best? You guys remember those CRV fold-out tables?
Yep.
Those are awesome.
Yeah.
Those are super cool.
Yeah,
you put a
we can get
one.
Yeah, we should get one at Walmart and put it in the back of Suburban.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think people always forget those are there, but they are.
Yeah, but anyway, but I got a barbecue. And for those of you that are wondering, like, I barbecue a ton.
Yeah.
And so this week we were doing hot dogs for Augie's birthday.
Nice.
And mine just gave up the ghost. I think the lines got clogged or something because I just couldn't get it to turn on, and I couldn't get gas to make its way through, even though I had a new propane tank. I purged the lines, tried to blow them out.
Regulator on there?
Did all that stuff, cleaned out everything, and it just wasn't working. Now, this barbecue has served me well for 11 years.
Oh, okay. So you've gotten plenty.
I'll tell you
I've
what.
gotten, let me say, I bought it for $175 at Walmart
Yeah.
11 years ago, and it has been an amazing piece of machinery.
Yeah.
But 11 years is a long time, and I've put a number of hours behind that grill. I mean, my wife and I used to grill, it's year-round. My brother-in-law always thought I was crazy because he's like, what are you doing? I was like, barbecuing. He's like, it's the middle of winter. I'm like,
Grill's still good.
My grill cooks all the time. Like I use, and so it was good. So I thought about upgrading and getting something really fancy and like expensive and nice, but no. So I found a Duraflame barbecue at Home Depot for $159 on sale.
Boom.
All black.
Yeah.
So I bought that, and I already have a cover and stuff. So just brought it over and plugged it in, and it is odd trying to figure out all the the heat points on it again, just to try and find like where the best heat cycle is. So
when I worked at Lowe's, right? So I worked in the garden department, and we sold a lot of grills. I always told myself like when I get older and I have my own place, when I get a nice house. The grill I really liked is they have those infrared grills and the Char-Broil infrareds, and it's funny because I sold a ton of them, and I would have to like sell people on them and say, hey, these are fantastic, but they really were. There was no cold spots on those.
Part of me was looking at that, and I was looking at those and going like, should I really spend the money for that?
But it's what they're what I want to say they were what $400.
Yeah, they're like $400 or $500.
$400-$500. Yeah, so they're a little bit more of an investment.
They are, but I thought, you know what? No, because I've had. Yeah. I cook on cast iron, so I replace my grill grates with cast iron grates, man grates, and that's how I cook. So realistically, it's mostly about getting the grill up to temperature and getting those grates hot enough, and then the grates do the cooking for you. So it was kind of my. Well, and I was like, you know what?
And those infrared ones, they're stainless is what those are, and those are a pain to clean because they actually do build up and they do cake up quite a bit of your food and your barbecue stuff, and so.
And I'm not a cleaner.
And I'm the same way. I hate cleaning a grill.
I don't clean my grill.
And they say,
detailing podcast.
They say just put them in the dishwasher, and I'm like, I'm not putting these freaking grates in my dishwasher.
So I clean my grill with Pam.
Okay.
And wire brush.
Yeah. I use tin foil. I just take some tin foil, wrap it up, and I just give it a good scrb.
Okay.
What I want to imagine.
You can do that? Yeah.
No, I just use a wire brush and Pam, and then I heat cycle it afterwards.
I want to imagine that there's somebody who's a grill detailer out there just screaming, and they're like, "Oh my god!" But then when it comes to the car, they don't give a crap. So
I don't clean my grill because I think it tastes better. So.
It's all those wonderful leftovers.
It's cast iron, so I'm kind of technically seasoning
It's like the hornet's nest inside my grill.
Yeah, that burned off. Pretty quick.
No, a little bit.
Well, I use it so much, I don't ever have to worry about hornet's nests in my grills.
Yeah,
so they're always hot.
I haven't used it for like 2 years.
Yeah,
I've grilled since then at picnics out in the park, but that's different.
People.
So
yeah.
So I've done that.
But the other thing I want to do is get a stick burner like smoker. So I have a. I can't remember the name of the smoker, but it's a hockey puck.
Yeah.
And I really like that, and I used to use that a lot. But I'd really like to try and get a stick burner one, which is the one where you actually put wood in it. Smoke some meats.
Yeah. If you really want to splurge, get yourself a Traeger.
I was going to say,
I thought about that too, of making
Traeger, and it's amazing.
Well, I thought about getting a Traeger, but there's something magical about spending a Saturday watching meat and trying to keep an optimum fire going to cook that. Yeah. And it's something that goes like, I want to put work into this instead of digitally.
Levi enjoys the process.
So cooking and smoking meats, I enjoy the process.
Yeah.
And I would love to have a Traeger, and I know if I had a Traeger, I'd be doing it way more. But it's the fact that you set it and forget it.
Sure.
That I feel like I want to be able to say, dude, I watched this. I've been stoking that fire and keeping it at 180 degrees for the last 14 hours.
Yeah.
It's just part of me goes like, that'd be fun. But my hockey puck smoker, It's the same setup. It uses a puck, and you just let it go, and you fill your pucks up, and you run it and let it smoke for 12 hours, and you just keep an eye on it and come out every once in a while and make sure the temperature's good.
Yeah.
And it's fine, and it's a good machine. It smokes great meat, and everything I ever did was good on it. So it's the same process, and so I've had basically that. I've had the set it and forget it, so I want to go like, okay, I can do this. I want to do stick burning.
Yeah.
The
I'll try and make
Traeger,
a
the
real
Traeger's like a
smoker.
fancy instant pot for smoking kind of thing.
Oh, yeah,
where it's just
yeah.
it gets
there's,
it done
but there's
very
some
efficiently
customization.
and-
Remember,
yeah.
There
you
are.
can add different flavored chips
Which
and do
you
everything
could
that you
you
want.
could do to mine too,
And so I'm just saying, it's,
because you can change out the pucks. I've got some
Applewood,
maple.
hickory,
I've got some
maple,
apple. I've
yeah.
got some hickory.
Yeah.
I've got all the different flavor pucks.
probably one of my favorite ways to barbecue is, as funny as this is, my dad taught me this, is to grab yourself an old oil can, or an old oil barrel, right, an old big old tin.
Yeah.
Literally toss your coals down into there, right? Start them up, light a fire, and then grab some wrought iron, not wrought iron,
Yeah.
but what's it called? Those
Rebar?
rods, rebar.
Yeah.
Get some rebar, hang it on the top. Get yourself some metal hangers. Hang your meat down in there.
Yeah,
right.
and the 55-gallon barrel. Usually,
Yeah.
great ones are old tire dressing barrels.
As I say,
They're
I've seen
full
a
of
lot of these
Silicone and hexane, and make sure they're enamel painted blue, so that
Yes.
paint burns
Yes.
inside flavors
I just wanted
the
to
chicken.
point out, I think I've seen a lot of this particular grill
But
set
those
up
are
in the
pit-
alleys of New York.
No, but those are
Absolutely.
In the
those
middle
are
of
pit
winter.
barrels, and you can buy a pit barrel
Yeah.
smoker.
Well, and they just, I love just
Yeah.
like hanging it and then putting the lid on top.
Yeah.
I love the way that tastes. I think it tastes amazing. But all right, we've talked
Well,
about
no,
this
there's
enough.
a lot of barbecue folks out that like
No,
listening
no.
to this hot
So-
barbecue.
Some people are
this hot
really
meat talk.
into their meat talk. So
But anyway,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
that was my weekend. It was very busy.
Okay.
Got a lot done, and the only thing I didn't do was detail. So I thought I might have to do my parents' new Ridgeline this weekend. I didn't. So
they
I'll
got a
hear
new
about it
Ridgeline.
tomorrow when they or today when they show up tonight for Augie's second birthday. But yeah, they got a black Ridgeline Sport. My dad's in love with that truck.
see, people give Ridgelines a hard time, and I think that they're the perfect answer to a part of the market that
Well,
just wasn't being
so-
catered to.
They're retired now,
Yeah.
and
You don't always need the truckiest
well,
truck that
no,
ever
my
trucked.
dad has every model of Chevy truck
Yeah.
made from 1926.
He's
all
got
way
the
up.
street cred. He's
got
okay.
every truck known
Yeah.
to mankind of Chevrolet.
Yeah.
So this is he would use my stepmom's Maxima like a truck.
Yeah.
He would put
Just
they
throw
would literally
the stuff in
he
there.
literally put a piece of cardboard in the trunk.
Oh, I was gonna say tarp in the trunk.
and the
or-
he
oh,
put
yeah.
cardboard in the trunk and then would put the lawnmower in there.
Yeah.
And then go mow lawns like when his trucks weren't working, because he's got a ton of old trucks.
Yeah.
And so he's like, oh, well, we got to use Jules's car.
Yeah.
So this was a happy medium between the two of them. My stepmom wanted something that still drove like a car
No,
to get
that-
rid of her Maxima, but then needed the usability of a truck
The
for
Ridgeline
their
is
rental
great.
properties.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The
So
Ridgeline
no,
is
they love
great.
it. My dad loves it. So
Yeah.
anyway,
All right,
As long
Dane.
as you know what it is,
Dane,
you'll be happy.
how was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty great. I was getting into the swing of things. I was like, all right, gonna start
Literally.
going on walks.
Yeah.
Gonna, gonna do my diet
Dane was
properly.
swinging. I like it.
all that.
Yeah.
All that business.
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't Tarzan. Okay, so any rate, took the dog for a walk. Had a really nice, I hadn't done that in a while, and she appreciated it. of
Yeah.
Oh,
course.
thank God.
So-
Poor
was like-
Allie.
Callie's like, man, we've been needing to, you and I both, buddy.
Well,
needing
she's a
to
high
walk.
energy dog, so I got to get her out there. But her whole thing is she's nocturnal, so all her energy comes into play at night when you want to try and sleep. And she's
Probably
like,
because
"Let me
she
in, let me
hasn't
out,
had
let
a
me in, let
walk
me out."
during the day.
Well,
that she gets
unfortunately,
excited in the evening.
she gets tired on walks. So that's the weird thing.
Well,
Is
'cause
like
she doesn't walk.
go on a whole
Again,
walk.
all these things seem like they could be fixed by taking your dog for a walk, perhaps in the morning when you wake up.
Get
So I-
Liz out there walking.
so I took her-
Good old Callie.
I took her
Yeah.
on about a 6-mile walk, and then came
Take the
back.
whole family on a walk.
Yeah, I went on a walk, and then the dog came back, and the dog's just like,
Probably felt good. She needed to sleep.
and then she just laid down
She
and
slept
slept
through the night.
until 2 a.m. and then she started a normal routine. I'm like, oh, so close. But anyway, it's fine. Beyond that, it was mostly I was a little bit scared to get on the internet this weekend because both Endgame and Game of Thrones. Don't worry, spoiler-free zone, guys.
Congrats to all the Starks out there.
Yeah. Trying to be spoiler-free, something. Any rate, Really, really good time. Got to see Game of Thrones at least, and
So did I.
That was awesome.
Needed a cigarette afterwards.
Yeah, right. Can't really say anything about it because there are those who are listening who are like, "Don't tell me." So that's okay. We won't say anything. Just
So
say
that was Dane's Sunday.
it was
evening.
awesome. So that was
So
basically.
you
Sunday.
went on a walk and
Went on a
watched
walk.
Game of Thrones.
I cooked and prepped lots of food, which I
Nice.
normally
Meal
never
prep.
do. So I was
Yeah, you
more
came in with
the
a
zone.
lunchbox today.
Yeah.
Full of cheese sticks.
So cheese and then Slim Jims. It's like
Keto.
my meal prep. I got a bunch of straight cheese
and
Slim
Coke
Jims.
Zero. Yeah.
and Coke Zero.
It's funny.
And I've been putting them in those lunchboxes.
Yeah,
mostly just
basically,
straight cheese and meat
this
sticks.
weekend I spent the better part of my time divvying up almonds, cooking Polish sausage, just doing, things here and there, but just, simple stuff because that's me. I want it simple. I don't want to overcomplicate this stuff.
Right.
It's fun to overcomplicate it to a degree, but that's when you start to make mistakes. And since I don't cook as often as I probably should, I don't want to waste the stuff I just bought. So
The sugar-free Red Bulls. and Slim Jims.
that does not count.
With
That is
cheese
not part of it.
Keto.
String
I
cheese.
did.
It's the ones that come packaged together already. He's like, the cheese already comes with hot link. It's great.
Oh, better cheddar.
His meal prep is ripping them apart and
man.
putting them in a box.
There, I prepped it. All right.
So you actually cooked Polish sausages.
So I actually did that. The other thing I did was a little bit of work on my car, on my Volvo, because as you know, it rides real rough.
crank them plates up.
So I made the front suspension a lot softer. I changed
How
the...
high did you raise it?
I didn't raise it at all. I just changed the damper rates.
Ooh.
So I softened them up on the front, and it feels much more gentle.
How much does it scrape?
Doesn't scrape at all.
Nice.
Because I'm on stock tires and wheels now.
Yeah.
Not tires, but wheels. So the problem is the back ones are horrible to
How
try
much
and
do
get
they rub?
to. No. I don't
Okay.
mean like the suspension.
They remove
I
the
mean
plastic panels.
getting access to the rear suspension to adjust it.
Yeah.
I ended up giving up, and I never give up on my car projects, but that was one where I just looked at it
How many
and said,
clips
"Oh
did you
my God."
break pulling the panels out?
Shockingly, I did not break anything, and that's why I stopped myself. I was like, before I do something that's
You get
gonna break
frustrated and
something,
start
he said frustrated. Okay,
frustrated.
So I got in there a good way because the problem is Volvo V50s. I'm looking online for any kind of like diagram or chart that shows me where it's okay to like remove this stuff. I had to do it all guessing because there was no guide online anywhere about how
That
to
sounds
remove
like
these
you're going to need to
interior
buy
panels.
yourself a Chilton manual
Yeah,
on Volvo V50s.
Chilton.
So Chilton would be the way to go because literally there was nothing out there, and of course that's my fault. Buy an obscure car and then you're
Not
you know,
obscure, Dane. It's a Volvo.
There's only
Station
250
wagon.
of this particular kind that
Volvo
exists.
station wagons all over the place.
Yes, Volvo station wagons everywhere, but this is a
Talking
T5
about, it's like
all-wheel
the most
drive,
common car in the world.
six-speed man.
Safest, they might say.
I know.
Muhammad's like the
Our
most
friends-
common name on the planet.
Our friends in Europe are going, Dane, that's a very common car. I don't know. Here, I know of like
There's only
three,
250
there's like
that
three
exist.
in town here.
Dane's
okay,
Volvo, and there's one next door.
we're talking V50s.
Right,
That's-
there's a V50 R design all-wheel drive next door at the wings.
what?
It's there every day when I get off work.
Wait, is it that white one?
Yeah.
Okay, there's the white one I know about, but
That's
it's
what
an
I'm saying. There's two in our parking lot.
it's an automatic though, isn't it?
I don't know. I haven't looked
I bet
at
it's an
it.
automatic. You know how rare the manuals are?
Dane's
so
got
rare.
the most rarest of them all.
And that's my street credits. I got
That's
the rare
right.
one.
That's right.
The
That's
really
right. You do.
rare one.
I know, Dane. I know.
Jeez.
It's just like
Okay.
my Suburban.
Cheese and meat sticks. All right.
Cheese and
Okay,
meat sticks.
so let me just say, if you're trying to dig back there to work on your
It's hard though.
suspension,
Yeah, there's no manuals, there's no videos, there's no A1 car design videos. You should make a video, a YouTube
Well,
video.
the problem was there were
how to remove
videos.
those panels.
There were videos for S40s, which is the sedan version of my V50. And looking back there, there's no similarity between how you access
yeah,
into
because
the
there's
trunk
a trunk.
versus in the back of the wagon.
Right,
Of
different
course,
panels.
there's a difference. But in the wagon, what I was finding was you have like actual heater vents and stuff back
Yeah.
there you got to work around. I figured out how to remove the plate above the seatbelt, and then I removed the top part and kind of got it all removed. And I'm like, okay, I got it, and I can loosen it up from the trim. But then it was sticking at the base because there's tie down points, like mounting
Right,
points at
yeah.
the bottom, and those are like the big bolted in part. But the problem is they have like a faceplate on them. and it had a little tab like you could stick a screwdriver in and remove the tab.
That'll break it.
And I was looking at it, and I kept trying just a little bit. I didn't want to break it, and I'm like, maybe. And it was not budging. So what I basically ended up doing was taking the top and just pulling the top down as far as I could get it to look at the back side of what was down below. Yeah. But it's all carpeted and stuff, so it'll flex a decent amount. But I'm looking in there, and I'm like, oh, that's way in there. So then what I found was the plastic part is on little clip tab things, so those can pop out.
Yeah.
What's not cool is there's the metal ring, like the little ring you actually tie to. That part is not attached to the plastic. That's attached to the panel in the wall on the metal inside. So all it does when you pull on that plastic and carpet, the ring stays where it is, and it effectively becomes like a bike lock and holds it there. Sorry, there's somebody out there who's, man, can't get anywhere.
You should just hit up the previous owner, Dane, and get that figured out. But
wow, it's not like Anthony makes
you.
videos about working on cars.
You should have made a video about it, though. You should have gotten a video like camera and gone like, okay, so there's not a lot online here. This is going to be the preemptive.
You should have gone live
video.
and
to add insult to injury, when I finally got all that pulled away, I was sure. I was like, okay, I'm going to have access to it now. I pulled in, shined a light down inside.
No access.
I have to remove like another metal panel to get inside the. It's insane. Like it's so layered deeply in there.
More of a park the Volvo, drive the Miata kind of thing, because you're going to have to tear a lot of the interior panels out.
The reason I got on this kick of trying to make it softer is because I know I'm going to be making a drive to the Oregon coast in June.
So you need to get this done.
And I want to leave the C-Max for Liz to drive because she can only drive automatic.
Oh, Liz isn't going with you to the Oregon coast?
No, this is a special, like, we basically...
Once-in-a-lifetime trip for Dane?
No,
by
this
himself?
is basically... The first time we did it, it was a bachelor party 2 years ago. We did a bachelor party 2 years ago.
Bachelor party 2.0. I see.
God. I can't
do this
anymore.
Is my friends going back, like, decades.
Going back to another bachelor party.
But it's not a... Okay.
Oh, it's not a bachelor. It's just a trip.
No, this time is basically we decided we liked the other one so much, just getting out in the woods
doing
and like,
it.
oh my God.
I know. I'm saying the trip, like going out in the woods with some bros, going on a trip, road trip, but without strippers.
It was a camping trip with a cabin.
Right.
That
so
was
this
it.
is going to be the same thing, but without strippers.
But on the Oregon
coast. That's what you're saying.
Correct.
Right, at the Oregon coast.
There will be no strippers.
The trip is going to be the same thing, except for the stripper part.
There never were.
Oh, there weren't? Then why was it a bachelor party?
Guys, I can't do this anymore. Dane, are you done with your weekend?
Oh, my God. Wow. God forbid I ever want to talk to people about, okay, sorry I wasted your time.
You didn't waste our time. You told a wonderful story about how hard it was to remove the black panels on the V50. You talked about this trip that you're going to... So you basically want to make it squishy and soft for the road trip.
I don't want it to be brutal.
Right, I understand.
Several hundred miles.
So what I'm saying is you now have a deadline to get the back end done.
Basically.
So this is a park the Volvo, tear the back end out, drive the Miata to work for a few days, and get it done.
True.
Yeah.
So that's what you got to do.
It's got to be a lot. Yeah. And maybe record yourself doing it so that you can maybe get some of that sweet revenue.
Yeah, no, I have YouTube channels. I should finally just start making videos on them. I had enough videos for us.
Well, you've got a very rare, the most rarest Volvo in the world. There's only 250 in the U.S.
See how patronizing this guy is? Okay.
And just saying, people will search this.
Okay.
Rare car.
Okay.
Only video in existence.
Okay. It would be the only one.
So Anthony, so first off, you buffed a truck.
Yeah.
You buffed a 4Runner that was exactly the same paint code as yours.
Yeah.
And yet you felt, because it's a limited and not an SR5, the paint was better than your own.
And I will,
but you haven't buffed your own.
Yeah, but let me. Well, actually, I have. Let me get into this.
Oh,
let me start this off. So Friday night, I basically had a pretty chill night. Yeah. I put a new front fender on my Honda Grom from a upgraded Honda Grom.
I saw that. I couldn't tell the difference at first.
There's like a little hole in it.
I had to keep watching. I was like, oh, there's a hole.
You look at the before and after. You're like.
Yeah, it looks slightly.
I had to replay a story.
Then the little hole, you notice it.
And then I was like,
it looks slightly cool in person.
It does. But it does. Once you see it, then it was like, oh yeah, that actually.
So, because I have some cool stuff coming up for the Grom that I'm going to be installing this later week. But then, so Friday night though, totally spaced. So I did reschedule that detail. Yeah. The guy that didn't show that one weekend,
right.
Totally, I rescheduled him. Completely forgot about it.
That was that guy's truck.
Yeah. He hit me up Friday night and said, "Hey, are we still good for tomorrow? I'm going to drop it off tonight." I'm sitting there like, crap. Like, because I had already mentally prepared myself.
You had your weekend planned
to do other fun things.
Yeah.
And he hit me up, and I was like, yeah, okay, you can drop it off tonight. And so he ended up dropping it off, and really, though, to be honest, he's taken really good care of it.
Right.
It only has about 7,000 miles on it. But giving it a walk around, I said, hey, so this, honestly, it looks really good. What have you been doing? And he says, I take it down to Jay's hand car wash. It's never seen a machine other than the one at the dealership when I take it in for my oil change. And I said, okay, in the future, you want to avoid doing that, but that's all right, Yeah. So looking at it, it looked really, really good. The interior was mint. Let's just say it looks a lot better than Katie's 4Runner with only 4,000 miles, which hurts me inside. It really does. So first thing was first, I basically said, all right, with a vehicle this size, I really want to use deionized water because I do have to do a decon and everything. Mm-hmm. So I grabbed all my chemicals, went down to Dirty Harry's spray and pay wash with their mega time, which is 10 minutes for, $3 or whatever it was. So I did the whole decon wash there, Ferrex, power clean, hit the fender wells, hit everything, got the wheels. And it was funny, though, I actually ran out of money. And I ran out of cash, and that bay was only cash only, right? Yeah. So it was packed. There was every other bay was full, and I'm sitting there doing a hand wash, and I already felt bad about that. And I said, okay, let's kind of speed it up, people. Second it freed up, pulled it in, sprayed it off, dried it down, and other than that, though, paint still felt good. It did need a clay decon, so went home. Next morning, woke up bright and early because my plan was that I had to have it done by 5 o'clock because I was going to the Jim Gaffigan comedy show. Yeah. Woke up, knocked out the clay, knocked out any other decon I needed to do, emblems and things like that. And then the clay towel totally saved me. IK multi-sprayer saved me. On a vehicle that big with those larger panels, I couldn't even imagine using a clay bar. So clay mitt or clay towel is ideal for that. But going straight into it, what I started noticing on my first couple passes, the way that paint was sprayed seemed like it was sprayed better than...
Did you check your VIN numbers to see how far apart they were?
I did not do that. That was one thing I didn't do. But same paint color, same paint code, but it was sprayed so much flatter than it was on my SR5. So my SR5...
So it has more texture on your SR5.
Correct. Which, not a bad thing. I mean, I'm okay with it, but... When I polished out the SR5, the front end, before we PPF'd it, right, I knew exactly what that paint felt like and looked like, and I knew exactly how much texture it had. When I started polishing this one, I said, well, this is a lot flatter, and it didn't have that typical Toyota texture that they do on the lower 3/4 on the door. It only had that texture right at the very bottom of the door on a ridge you couldn't even see, which, like I said, I felt was better sprayed than my SR5. But, again, the texture is just more paint. I'm okay with it. And so going through, basically ended up doing 2 different pads. Did a Rupa's Yellow, did a Lake Country Black on the LHR 15 on pretty much everything. And then on the smaller areas, I used the Porter cable with a 3-inch backing plate and knocked it out. And the one thing I noticed, the one hiccup that I wouldn't call it a hiccup, but polishing around the trim, right? I wasn't actually trying to polish that trim out, but barely hitting that trim, I noticed a weird smell, right? Like a burning smell. Okay. And I was like, well, that's weird, right? And I wiped everything down. I looked at the trim, and everything looked fine. I didn't do anything.
Garage was on fire.
No, what I realized is that actual trim, they use this chrome black trim on there. It is a cheap plastic uncoated trim, meaning they just basically put the color on and they did not clear over that.
Right.
So the second you would hit that, you were actually cutting through that, because I looked on my pad and I had color transfer on there, and I said, oh crap, I'm glad I didn't go straight into this trim work and thinking that it was all going to be polishable, because that would have been a nightmare. So I pretty much had to avoid that, but there was 2 different colors on the Limited. You had the gray, and then you had the metallic black down at the lower panels. That looked really, really cool. So went over the whole car, though. It was really, really just needed a one-step, pretty simple job. Paint prepped it and then coated it with gloss coat. A couple hours later, hit it with OptiSeal, and he was ecstatic. He was like, nice. Dude, this looks amazing. And he didn't know a whole lot about detailing. He just knew that
it looked good. It looked better.
He knew that he just wanted that coating on there. And so it really did look it looked awesome and had a lot of depth to it that it didn't have before. And other than that, I told him, hey, dude, keep doing the same thing you're doing. Your car was in great shape when you handed it to me. If you want to wash it yourself, I totally think you should do that. If you want to continue to take it to the hand wash, that's better than taking it through a machine wash. So just keep that up. I told him I'm going to have to get him set up with some products and stuff, and he'll call me this week so I can build him a kit. Anyways, after that was done, though, I went to Jim Gaffigan. That was it was a good time. It was I wouldn't say it's a packed place, but just getting into Boise State, it was at the Taco Bell Arena. It was just kind of a nightmare getting in there with all the people.
Was there a carnival there? You said there was a carnival.
Yeah,
it was the BSU Spring Fling.
They're getting ready for Spring Fling next week.
So it was just really busy down there. But Jim Gaffigan's opening act wasn't so funny. Jim Gaffigan himself was funny. Nobody was like bent over dying laughing. Like at the Kevin Hart, his openers had me dying laughing. Jim Gaffigan was like,
"Is it Taco Bell?"
Yeah. And it was
those of you who are wondering, it's Taco Bell Arena.
Not actually.
No, it was just in the parking lot of Taco Bell.
Yeah, well, that would have been pretty awesome, actually. So, no, it was a good show. It was funny because he made one joke that I think really hit home with people that I don't think he realized. Was so relevant to us. I think it was just a general joke he uses, but basically he was talking about how he was flying into Boise and he was looking out the window and he said, I couldn't believe how beautiful it was, right? All the landscapes and things like that, and how this is just totally an unfound gem, and how Mother Nature, has the ability to create these beautiful things. And then he says, but then you have all these people moving here and ruining it, right? And they're like, you have all these people moving from out of state. They say, hey, I want to live there. And they ruin it, and they ruin it. And I think that was a generalized joke, but everybody started dying laughing because everybody's like, oh, I don't think you realized.
It resonated.
That is what is happening right now. That's totally what's happening.
Yeah.
So anyway, other than that, though, went home later that night, and on Sunday morning, I ended up knocking out a bunch of stuff on the Civic. So I installed my new valve cover on the Civic, my powder-coated valve cover. Looks awesome. It was a super easy job, but I did use my Chilton that I had. So Dane,
very nice.
Get yourself a Chilton. My pages are deteriorating out of that thing.
Yeah,
but I still
I've got
use
one
it.
for the Elantra. Anybody that owns a high-performance machine like Anthony and I have Chiltons so that we can refer back to them for anything like that.
You want to talk about common vehicles. He could have looked up on YouTube and found a Honda Civic video, how to do whatever, in about 5 seconds.
Chilton, so that he didn't have to worry about that.
And I trust my Chilton.
It's
so
awesome.
you can pick up your Chilton manual on Amazon or eBay.
Yeah, I think O'Reilly still sells them.
And O'Reilly's, you may actually have one in O'Reilly's. But
Auto parts
for
store.
a vehicle like Dane's Volvo V50, the best way is to look up on Amazon or eBay. Get that Chilton manual.
Haynes manual still a thing?
You can get a Haynes. It's Haynes and or Chilton. They have two different versions. So
big Chilton guy over here, though.
I like my Chilton. They actually disassemble an entire vehicle, put it back together, and then write the book on it.
Very nice. Okay, because I don't know the history of Chilton. Somebody want to tell me why
every vehicle
Chilton
I've
is better
ever
than
owned,
Haynes.
Dane, is to purchase a Chilton's manual.
They don't, however, have a Chilton for an Evo. I looked.
Yeah.
They don't. I don't know why.
They
probably just have it for the
regular
regular
Lancer. They want you to go to the dealership.
I think they do have a regular Lancer. So, anyway,
They're like, this guy wouldn't change his own oil on this? Kind of
It's
weirdo
basically
does
the
that?
same as a regular Lancer.
I put that new valve cover on. It looks awesome. Really straightforward, really easy. And then following that, I had a little spoiler lip I put on.
I saw that.
It's like a little extension, a carbon extension.
Password JDM.
Yeah, by this shirt I'm wearing here, they included that in that order. But I put that on, and which really looks really, really cool.
Yeah.
One thing I did not have experience with is the double-sided tape that they use was not a typical molding tape that you would see on
fancy
most
double-sided tape.
I wouldn't even call it fancy. It was basically like a gummy glue is what it was. And so the second you stripped it off, most people would say, okay, double-sided tape, I have the ability to lift it off if I need to and readjust it, right?
Oh.
This stuff, it touched the spoiler and it freaking created a bond. And I was like, I set it on there for a second. I'm like, holy crap, right? I'm like, I put it on, that's not where I wanted it.
Peel it off and a bunch of paint comes off with it.
I go to rip it off and didn't rip off the paint, but bam, big old chunk of tape went from the thing onto the spoiler, and I had to use adhesive remover to get it off because it was that stuck on there that fast. So pretty much had one shot at it, looked at it and said, okay, I'm just going to put it on here and hope that this lines up. And it did. So
it is true, though. When you get those ones that look like they're going to be an easy job, you're like, all I have to do is follow this line. I'll be fine. Those can be the hardest ones because you're sitting there in your mind like, it has to be perfect. It has to be perfect.
And I think, realistically, if that thing were to come off, you'd have to use fishing line or some floss, and then I would argue that you might have to just eraser wheel that thing, but I'm afraid to eraser wheel that spoiler because I don't know how much clears on that thing, so I think it would really jack some stuff up. So anyways, so I did that. Then last night, pretty much just hung out, did some yard work. It was I call it the godforsaken Ark. It's the Ark here in Boise. They always ask for donations.
I figured out what Ark stands for.
Yeah. Oh, did you? Is it good or bad?
I'm not going to talk about it on the podcast.
Okay. No, that's my weekend, and so I want to get into the plans for this week briefly. What our plans are. So we're bringing back Details with Levi.
We are,
and we are really excited to get more short segments out on general how-tos.
We're basically going to make them quick and simple, easy bites. We're going to show you some of the quick tips and techniques and tricks that I've done over the years, and basically show you like, hey, you want to know how to use this product? Here's how you do it.
Yeah.
You want to learn how to use this brush? Here's how you do it. You want to learn how to clean a door panel? Here's how you do it. Yeah. Make them quick, simple, easy for you guys at home to understand, and anybody can use it and do it.
Frankly, when we do our videos, we put a lot of effort into like building these kind of grand things or like going out and doing stuff, and we almost, I wouldn't say we lost sight of it, but we hadn't been producing like these smaller, simpler, like
more
get it done kind of videos.
Nuggets.
Yeah, basically like the fun size things where it's just like, here's some information done, because our competition puts out a lot of content, but it is more product focused and it is less like what we do, where we try and do some like interesting things beyond just products, like really trying to make it more of a experience. But at the same time, there are people who buy from us who are like, I really wish you just had a video about this product, and I wish I knew how to use it. Okay, we can do that.
We can do it.
So, So more bite-sized bits, and I think that's something we want to begin filming as much as we can, because there's just a lot of small tips and tricks.
The weather's
that people,
getting nice, so we have the ability to do that.
Well, people ask, can I use O&R on my seats?
Yeah.
I say, absolutely.
Yeah,
yes.
we have a Details with Levi on it.
And exactly. And then they'll say, hey, I saw your old glass cleaning video. Can we get an updated one with the newer towels? So that's something we want to do. And we're always open to suggestions. So if you want to leave a comment down here on the YouTube video.
What are some of the ones you want to see? Besides us coating Dane's car. Or finishing Dane's car.
Yeah.
It's out there in the parking lot right now.
We still need to eventually do that. But
we still have the interior to do. We still have a couple things
And
left.
then another thing would be just how to apply bead maker. We get a lot of questions.
Well, we were thinking like some simple ones. How to apply bead maker. How do I put lines in my carpet? How do I clean a door panel? How do I use this the horsehair brush? Or how do I use the tire brush? How do I use the body brush? Like simple, easy, quick, kind of almost like a what's in store, but a how-to on how to do something easy and fast and fun.
The Suburban is a great place. You could do the lines in the carpet. There's so much room to actually do those in it.
Yeah.
I mean, you totally could do that.
We could do that.
Yeah.
Or my Volvo, just saying.
Okay, we're not doing that.
Man,
but
I kept it dirty for you.
He kept it dirty for us. He didn't attempt to clean it at all.
I don't even want to go inside. But so that's the plan for.
But we
for
could
this
definitely.
Week. We're definitely gonna get some more of those filmed. We have a lot of product videos and stuff like that coming up. We have just been. I think just the company itself has just been busy, and I think we've had a couple big sales recently that have done really well.
Big sales, a lot of people coming into town visiting,
and we've had a lot of people coming into the store.
That too.
To a lot of customers that are just local, which we don't normally have a lot.
For those of you that are wondering how busy we are, Anthony and I are going to go pack bead maker for Amazon.
Yeah, these guys actually
go. We're going to be doing
and
after
pack
this.
Stuff.
They need help. That's how busy we've been. So
Tim and I got to stay editing, but otherwise,
that's what you tell yourself, Dane. Could come down there and help us pack.
I mean,
some bead maker
do you guys
listening?
Do you want another Wash Wednesday? I don't know. Do you? Maybe.
Dean's like
on a racetrack, maybe might be fun, but you don't have to see it. Maybe I could just go pack something like I used to for years in the garage. Let me remind you.
We know what you're doing, Dane. We understand.
Yeah,
we're just saying.
I'm going to call this podcast episode the Harass Dane edition.
The harassed. Well, G. Davis.
G. Davis is the ultimate harasser.
He's
I
the
love
ultimate
G.
Dane
Davis.
harasser.
G. Davis is the best.
And so I'm sure he'll leave a comment below letting us know his thoughts about Dane's situation.
He did. He told me, he texted me, or not texted me, but he messaged me and told me how much he appreciated my last cut joke on the live.
Yeah.
That's
I
when I knew
that.
I finally had gotten it. That was,
Well, you
that
were
was my
asleep.
favorite.
Was I?
It was a little non-PC, but it was totally,
Okay.
totally it's what he was looking for.
Yeah.
And he told me. So he goes, now we're thinking the same. Yeah. It's like, all
Yeah.
right.
Well, hey, I like
Okay.
it. But other than that, yeah, that's pretty much the plan for this week, guys. I think we have a lot to do. But before you know it, we're gonna be out. And
we got our SEMA pick is coming up next Friday already. So we're going to be doing our booth pick. So they open up the map. So I'm excited to watch that the next 2 weeks. See how
you mean stress out?
Well, stress out as the booths disappear.
Yeah, you watch as you're like,
It's
okay,
fun
our turn's
and
coming
exciting.
up. Well, let's
Yeah.
make a move for
So-
this place, and then you're watching, and it disappears in the
It's
next
gonna
5
be
seconds.
It's gonna be crazy. It's fun. I always look forward to it every year. So
It's
we've
a
got
game.
that, and then we're just gonna be, like we said, doing some videos, getting some stuff ready. The biggest thing is we are going to be back east in June. So as the month of
Detailers
May starts, we
Domain.
got about 6 weeks until then. So for those of you that have maybe been wanting to go to the Detailers Domain event, please come out and see us.
Yeah.
Currently, our date is set for June 14th and 15th, I believe. Is that Saturday, Sunday, or Friday, Saturday? So Friday will be a class that you can pay for through Detailers Domain, and then the Saturday is the open house. And
Yeah.
it's free. Come hang out, check out the car show.
You get to see us. You
So-
get to see the Rupas guys. You get to
KXK
see
guys,
KXK. You get to
Larry
see
Casilla.
Larry from
Yeah.
Ammo. It's a fun time. It's
Yeah.
great. You get to see a ton of people.
Yep. And this year Morgan's coming. So
yeah, and Morgan will be there too, so you get to
we'll
see
have
her.
a lot of fun on that trip. So we got 6 weeks until then,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be fun. We'll
Let's
see how much
lose
weight we can lose.
Some pounds,
Yep.
boys.
And then literally 4 weeks after that, 3 weeks, we'll be headed to jolly old England.
That'll actually
so-
be my first time going to Europe.
Yeah. Well,
So
we're
you
not
guys
going to
come?
Europe, Dane. We're going to UK.
Well, it depends on how quickly Brexit finds its way through the system or
So
not.
you know.
I know the technical.
But we will be going to
technicality.
Scotland this
Yeah.
year and making our way south.
Yeah.
So that'll be fun.
All right, Dane, take it away.
All right, so thank you for watching. If you're on the Rag Company Podcast YouTube channel, that is different than the Rag Company YouTube channel. They're two different channels, so make sure you are subscribed to both. And if you haven't already and you like what we have to say and what we have to show, click on the bell. That really helps us out because then you know every time we release something, which,
right.
as we talked about with those videos, we're going to be releasing a lot more
Yeah.
going forward. So that'll be a good thing. And, you know what else helps? Leaving us a review on iTunes. That is also extremely helpful. Leave us a rating and a review. Just say something. It doesn't have to be nice or mean or whatever. Just whatever you want to say. You know,
it can be
it helps
mean.
us out. It can be mean. You know, if you're like trying to roast somebody, that's fun. But, you know, it's a review, so it gets us in front of more eyeballs, and that's a good thing. Also,
Leave the
and
tree up.
I will.
I mean, take it down.
I'm leaving the tree up just out of principle.
Almost summertime.
That's
Dane's
right.
gonna get ready to put some
I'm going for a
sunflowers
record.
on it, and
So last
birds.
note, this is the last note. This is what I'm going to point out. Guys, we're on Spotify. I don't know if you listen to Spotify, but if you do, make sure you're following the Rag Company podcast on Spotify. I want to grow the numbers on there as much as we possibly
Grow it.
can.
Get it.
Because that
Grow
helps
it.
us as well, and it helps you. So guys, thank you so much for listening. We will catch you next week.
see ya.
See ya.